My ranch is my sanctuary, a sprawling 500-acre piece of rugged land nestled deep in the mountains, miles away from any town or neighborhood. It's remote, wild, and entirely mine. For generations, my family has owned this land, and every inch of it is protected by legal deeds and clear boundaries. But when the local HOA president, Karen, tried to waltz in like she owned the place, she learned the hard way that my ranch isn't part of her little jurisdiction. The incident. It all started when Karen got wind that I had installed a new high-tech security gate at the entrance to my ranch road. The gate wasn't just a fancy fence. It was fully automated with biometric scanners and cameras to keep unwanted visitors out. Perfect for a remote property like mine, where the nearest neighbor is 5 miles away and privacy is a must. One sunny afternoon, I was out checking the fences and watering cattle when I heard the unmistakable crunch of tires on gravel. Pulling up the security feed from my phone, I saw Karen's shiny SUV heading toward the gate. She wasn't alone. A couple of other HOA board members were with her. They expected the gate to be open because the ranch lies within the HOA boundaries. I smirked and tapped the screen to keep the gate locked. The showdown. Within minutes, Karen was on my ranch property, banging on the gate, yelling through the intercom, and demanding access. "This is public road. I have every right to be here," she screamed. I answered calmly through the speaker. "This is private property, Karen. Your HOA jurisdiction doesn't extend here. I'm denying you access." She lost it. "I'm the HOA president, and you will let me in this instant," she demanded, voice rising to a shriek. The others were egging her on, but I wasn't budging. Suddenly, Karen whipped out her phone and called 911, claiming I was illegally blocking a public road and threatening to use force if necessary. When the cops arrived. About 20 minutes later, a couple of sheriff deputies showed up on their all-terrain vehicles. Karen was pacing nervously by the gate, still yelling that I was breaking the law. The deputies looked around, checked their GPS, and then flipped through the property maps I'd already emailed the sheriff's department weeks ago. I met them calmly and said, "This is private property. The gate was installed legally with all permits. I am within my rights to deny access to anyone, including HOA members, who have no legal easement here." One deputy nodded, scanning the survey documents. "Ma'am," he said to Karen, "this road leads only to Mr. Thompson's private property. The HOA does not have jurisdiction here." Karen's face went from anger to disbelief. She even tried to argue, "But the HOA maintains this road." The deputy smiled. "That doesn't make it a public road. Maintenance doesn't equal ownership or access rights." Karen was silent, visibly deflating. The aftermath. I told the deputies they could stay until Karen left the property, just to make sure there was no further confrontation. Karen stomped off, muttering threats about taking this to court, but everyone knew it was over. Later that week, I received a formal letter from the HOA attorney retracting any claims to access my ranch and promising to respect the property boundaries. Karen resigned shortly after, citing personal reasons, though I heard from a few neighbors that she was humiliated in the HOA meeting and lost all support. What I learned: owning remote land is a blessing and a responsibility. When people assume they have rights they don't, it's up to you to stand firm and defend your boundaries. I wasn't rude or aggressive. I just stood my ground with facts, proof of ownership, and legal backing. Karen learned the hard way that power without knowledge is dangerous. My ranch is my fortress, and no HOA president is getting through my gate unless I say so.